Hello Libra, welcome to your special update here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Princess of Cups. You're somebody with a lot of new feelings right now. I think that you're aware of a lot of desires that you have. I think that you are really, you're finding yourself attracted to a lot of things, right? You're finding, I don't know, I almost feel like you're doing the same things that you usually do, but you're finding them to be deeper, more meaningful, richer experiences, you know? I find that you're falling in love with new things. I feel that you're really allowing your emotional body to express itself, you know. I find that you're a very creative person. You have a very rich imagination, right? And I feel like you have a way of connecting with your environment on a real soulful way. Yeah. I wonder if there is a particular dream right now that you are considering pursuing. I kind of feel that there is one particular sign or symbol that you're kind of that you're focused on, one particular path that is really attracting you. And maybe it looks promising. Maybe it's really the biggest dream, right? The greatest desire that you've had. And maybe up till now it's just kind of been, well, it's not practical to pursue it. There are other things I've got to do first, other priorities. Maybe this time in your life right now, and maybe since it's the end of the year, we're getting into 2025, it's just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to pursue this thing, whatever it is. Yeah. Well, let's put this card into some context. Let's take a look at some more energies. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got a Queen of Pentacles. We've got a Prince of Cups, a Queen of Cups, and a Princess of Pentacles. Wow, there's a lot of court cards here. You know, a lot of court cards. I feel like we're kind of torn because we have this very practical life. We're doing things that are making money. We're doing things that are sustaining us. And it's kind of like there's not a lot of satisfaction there. Okay. So we may be kind of doing sort of this routine work, but we're identifying those things that we don't really feel connected to anymore. And so what we're looking at then with the Princess of Pentacles in the future position is going to be this sort of a voluntary, sort of self-imposed winter, you know, that we're kind of saying, okay, you know what, I got to start somewhere else. I got to start doing something else. And this is the recognition that when we start doing it, we're kind of starting from the bottom. You know, if it's a new path, if this is a new world that's opening up to you, you kind of have to, you got to start fresh. You know, this is still something that we've got to enter in this forest, and we've got to build the life. You know, so it's going to take work. So it's kind of scary, right? It's kind of going from something that seems predictable and routine, something that has maybe been sustaining you in some way, maybe just on the physical plane, you know, it's paying the bills. But there's really not a lot of satisfaction there. It's kind of like I like it less and less every day. So either I stay here and do this and just kind of maybe over time feel miserable, or I take a risk and I start this new path. I enter into this new world and I see what's here. And this is kind of like, this is that voluntary winter. We know it's going to be a challenge at the beginning because we're still figuring things out. We still got to put in the work. We still got to build the thing up, right? But at least this is This is meaningful. I feel like this is where your aspiration really lies. Okay. Now, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Let's put the rest of our cards on the table here. The Ace of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. I feel like you haven't made a decision yet, but I feel like you will. I feel that you are, you're sort of building up to it. I feel like you are going to have the clarity, the certainty. You're going to make the decision in your mind. And then, of course, we make the decision with our intention. And from here, from the Ace of Wands outward, that's when we really start doing this thing. Okay. A lot of court cards here. And the court cards tell me that, you're, in some ways, you're sort of split. You're split between what's kind of safe and secure and predictable versus what is sort of unknown. You're going to have to start at the bottom. It's a new path, right? It's going to be a challenge at first. We're going to have to tighten our belts for a little while. We're going to have to kind of cut back on some things so that we can, until this really gets going, whether this is a new business or you're deciding to make a career change or an educational change, a life change of some kind. Maybe you want to move somewhere else. It's kind of it's going to be tight at the beginning, but it's going to open up a lot of new things for you. I feel like this is a whole new world that's opening for you. But we've got to be ready for some of the challenges that it's going to present at the very beginning. Okay, let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Clark W. Griswold III. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Looking around the room, curious, we don't have any major arcana energies, okay? And that's really telling me that, Spirit's here, Spirit's the table, Spirit is supporting you. But there's no specific spiritual thing that, you need to focus on. There's no karma that you're working through. There's no issues that you're not seeing. Spirit's kind of, just saying, hey, you got this, right? I'll be your safety net. I'll be your motivation, but you got this. You just go ahead. Do what you're doing, Spirit's kind of taking a back seat. Spirit's not showing you, well, you better pay attention to that. You better pay attention to that and that and that. No, I think Spirit's kind of saying, if you're ready, do it. You got this, It's the way a parent might say, hey, you know what? You know how to ride the bike. Just go ahead and go. I'll be here to catch you if you fall, but just go. Take the risk. Get on the bike, start pedaling. You can do it. The way a mama bird might push the fledglings out the nest, So there's no major arcana energies. We've got a little bit of fire at the end. The fire at the end, I think, is good because that's we're making the decision. We're ready to go. Okay, we've got water, 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 water. A little bit of air. And then we've got, of course, our earth, earth, and earth. It's mostly water and earth. Mostly water. I think the overwhelming water is kind of saying that, look, you feel a certain way about life right now, and that's not going to change. Right? That if you're in this Eight of Cups right now, this is kind of a hopelessness. This is feeling like, okay, if I keep doing what I'm doing, my life's not getting any better. I'm not feeling happier. In fact, I know that if I do not pursue this this aspiration, this big desire, this thing I want to do, if I don't pursue this dream, I know that I'm not going to feel better. I know that it's going to be regret. I know that it's going to be a missed opportunity. When you're 120 years old and you're looking back on your life, are you going to say, well, I'm glad I never pursued that dream, right? Or are you going to say, I wish I would have done it. I wish I would have at least given it a shot. I wish I would have at least put all my energy into it and just to try, Are you going to regret trying? Is that the story you want to tell when you're 120 years old, I had this great dream, but I never acted on it. I never did anything with it. Or are you going to say, you know what, I had this great dream and I tried and it was a failure. I'd rather try and fail than not try. That I'd rather have that story to tell. But there's a great chance that this story is going to have a very happy ending for you. Okay? But this is the year, I think, where you just kind of say, I can't keep doing what I've been doing. I don't feel the same way about it. It's not fulfilling you. And that's part of our Prince of Cups in the background here. That you've been trying to stay the course. That's a very fixed water energy, the Prince of Cups. Trying to stay satisfied with life, but it becomes too routine. The Prince of Cups is kind of saying, you know what, I like things a certain way, and they're always going to stay that way. But the Princess of Cups is kind of saying, I'm tired of the way things are. I want something different. Okay? And there may have been a time in your life where you were sort of a creature of habit, that you felt the best, you felt satisfied, you felt safe and happy and warm when everything was predictable, when everything was sort of safe, everything was steady, and everything was routine. But I feel like right now, I don't know, maybe something happened. Maybe you realize that nothing is permanent. Okay? Or maybe it's just, the end of the year and just kind of saying, hey, I'm not getting any younger. So I feel like now you don't want the safe and predictable anymore. You want the feeling. You want to take a chance on a dream right now. Yeah. And of course, our Queen of Pentacles that we have beneath the surface, this is your future self. Let's say on your deathbed, what is the story you're going to tell? Is it the story of, I had a dream, but I was too scared to go after it? That's my story. Or, I had a dream, I went and I did my best, I lost everything, and here I am. Either way, we're going to be on our deathbed, But there's a good chance that you could say, I had this dream. I took a chance, I went out and I pursued it, and this is the rest of my adventure. This was the new world that opened up to me. Okay? Because I think what you want to do, there is a great potential here. This is not just some frivolous or fickle thing you have. It really is something that, hey, this could be great. There's a lot of potential here. But we know at first it's going to be maybe a pretty lean year. You're going and doing something new. It means you're going to start entry level. You're going to start at the bottom. You got to work your way up, that sort of thing. So it's not going to be all sunshine and roses and puppy dogs and millions of dollars like, in the first day. It's going to be something that it's going to be kind of a self-imposed winter. It's going to be harsh, but you're going to work your way through it and build yourself up into something. And I think that you would rather do this and be satisfied and be kind of thrilled with your life and be on this path than just be stuck in this lackluster sort of routine, the predictability of the Prince of Cups. Okay? So the princess and the princess, these two are working together. This is the I have a dream card, right? This pair is, we have an aspiration, we have a dream, and we're going to pursue it. And we know we're ready. We're ready. 'Cause sometimes people think, I want to change my life. I want to pursue my dream. You set one foot out the door, and you realize how harsh it is, and then you say, nope, I'm turning around going home. Anything. Think about anything that you want to do, any dream you have. The first step you take, that's going to decide your fate. Because you either say, oh, I didn't know it was going to be a challenge. I'm going to go home. Or you say, okay, I knew it was going to be hardcore, and I'm ready. Let's do it. You know what to expect, sort of. You don't know maybe the details. You can't predict the future, but you're not so naive that you think it's just going to be a walk in the park. Because then anybody would do it. And then you would have done it last year, So I think this year is finally like, okay, my dissatisfaction of staying the same is more significant than my fear of the challenges starting a new life. Okay, I'd rather face that challenge of starting a new life. I know it's going to be rough. I know it's going to be a process, and it's going to be a struggle, and it's going to be harsh conditions at the beginning. You're not walking into a paradise, You're walking into what will be a paradise. See, The Princess of Pentacles is the card that becomes the Empress. You know? And so I think that this has become so intolerable that this seems like the only option for you. And so in 2025, I see that you're pursuing this path. And it's opening up literally a whole new world for you. And it could, great chance this is going to turn into the Empress life. You know, very good chance of that. But we've got to be willing to take that risk. And I think no one is willing to change until staying the same hurts worse, you know? Until we're more dissatisfied with staying the same than we are scared of change. Nothing will change until, you know, staying the same gets intolerable. Yeah. And I don't know what you're changing, but I do see that there are people around you. There's a lot of court cards here. You know, 5 court cards. That's quite a bit. So it kind of feels as if, you know, your involvement in this group thing, whether it's a job or a life, career, school, a collaboration or family, whatever it is, it kind of feels like you're just not mixing well in that environment anymore. Okay? You've been trying to be someone that you're not. And I think that it's become intolerable. The only way forward is change. The only way forward is to venture out into this forest and try to build your Empress life. Try to make that dream come true. All right? And now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's free. It supports the channel, and I really, really do appreciate you. Okay? Your general energy is clarity. You're not confused. This is the only air energy we see. It's clarity. You're seeing things clearly. You're feeling your feelings clearly. And I feel like this is really that internal certainty and awareness that says, yeah, my life as it is, I don't want it. I can't tolerate it this way anymore. Something needs to change. I need to change. So I feel like internally you've made that decision. You know, you're ready. You know what it's going to take. You're prepared as well as you can be. You don't know exactly what the challenges are going to be, but you know it's not going to be easy. So if you're ready for the kind of the hardship, that sort of self-imposed winter, for the harshness of the beginning phases of this, then you're not going to be caught off guard. You're not going to be surprised. So I think you've made that sort of realization. And you're somebody that you try to rise above your thoughts and feelings in order to tap into the clarity. You know it's in those still moments, those silent moments, that you hear the voice of Spirit. Okay? And I think that's why we've gotten no major arcana energy here, because you know how to tap in and get the message. You've gotten the point, so to speak. Right? So Spirit doesn't have to pop out in the major arcana energies in the reading and say, hey, look over here, here's your sign. No, you've got an antenna on top of your head and you're receiving the message loud and clear. Okay? Now, in the position of your environment, we've got that earth energy, that 5 of Pentacles. That is change. That is you out there in the harsh winter doing the work, doing the thing, making the changes. Changing yourself, changing your life, pursuing this new path, pursuing this dream. This is like a voluntary uncomfortableness, a voluntary discomfort. Well, see, sometimes there's comfort back here in the kind of the safety and the predictability of life, but with an 8 of Cups, I don't think you're finding it to be comfortable anymore. So you're saying, I'd rather be out here chopping wood and carrying water than just in here just sort of feeling displeased and dissatisfied with life. I'd rather be out here in the dead of winter living off the land or whatever, putting in the work, busting my butt, than just being here where, yeah, maybe it's warm and cozy, but it's miserable. Okay, so the 5 of Pentacles really becomes that change. It becomes you're pursuing this dream, this aspiration, or this big desire, whatever this is for you. You are doing the work. You're out there in the harsh conditions, with your beanie cap on and the axe in your hand, and you're doing the work. Okay? And it's not pleasant. It's not enjoyable. It's not fun, right? But you're doing it because it is the pursuit of who you know you are, what you know you're all about, and what you're what you know you're meant to do. Okay? The Queen of Cups up here at the top, this is your emotional intelligence. That is your emotional transparency. That is you really seeing clearly what is within you, and it's beyond the shadow of a doubt. That's the dream that you want to pursue. Okay? And the Five of Pentacles is you out there pursuing that, making changes. You're building up. This is you out here in this frozen forest trying to build the Empress life, the paradise, trying to erect the big rock candy mountain of your own life. You're out here putting in that work, right? The next card, though, is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is a reminder that things may get worse before they get better. That when you're in the Eight of Cups and you're pulling yourself out of this Eight of Cups, hopelessness, depression, this swamp kind of stuck feeling, the next card, of course, is the Seven, right? Going from an 8 to a 7. The 7 doesn't look much better. It is a little bit better because at least it's daylight, right? But it's not, you're not going from an 8 of Cups to, an Ace of Cups right away, where it's just like suddenly you've found the Holy Grail, right? You've got to travel the path. Okay, so the Seven of Cups is, it's saying that things may feel a little bit worse before they start feeling better. That life may get more challenging in different ways before they get easier. Okay. But the card after this, if we're going 8, then we go 7, then we go 6. So after that, it feels like, wow, okay. After I get to the 7, I make a little bit of progress and I'm doing it now. Okay, now I'm feeling that 6 of Cups. Now I feel that sort of harmony. Now I feel like I'm in the flow. Yeah, I'm still 5 of Pentacles, busting my butt, working hard, but it feels good because I'm doing what I need to be doing. I'm pursuing my dream. Because we're going to struggle. We're going to have to work hard anyway. You're working this hard, but you're feeling this. What if you work hard and you felt the 6 of Cups? Either way, you're working hard, right? Might as well work hard doing something that means something to you. And the Ace of Wands at the end here is kind of that, we're setting that intention. We're saying, finally, okay, I believe it inside, I acknowledge it, I've gotten the message, I've gotten the point, loud and clear. Now I'm taking that message and I'm sort of, I'm carrying the torch and I'm going out here and I'm doing it. That's sort of, we're making that decision to step outside of ourselves and to pursue something like that. I think this is really significant. I think that you're ready. And I think that 2025 is really going to open a whole new world for you. New challenges, but new rewards. Let's look at our mystery card. Obviously, we want some, maybe major arcana. This really could be the Justice card, your Power card, but it could be a 6. I'd like a 6 of Pentacles or a 6 of Cups. Here we go. It's the King of Swords. It's a fixed air energy. So to me, this feels like, it feels like a belief. It feels like we are fixed in this principle, that we believe in what we're doing. Even when we're going from an 8 to a 7 of Cups, that's not a big improvement, right? Even when things seem to get worse before they get better, we're not changing our minds, right? It's kind of like we're making that decision now before we go outside and start doing it. Because if you make the decision when you're already out there in the conditions, and you're like, oh, it's cold out here, I don't want to do it. That's why we're deciding now. And we're committing to it. And then when we go out and we start doing it, and our body says, oh, it's cold, it hurts, I'm sore, it's hard work, I don't want to do it anymore, we say, well, I've already decided. Because otherwise, we're already in those conditions, we're going to say no. It's going to be like, well, no way. Decide beforehand, before the actual activity. right? Because when you're in that activity, yeah, it's a 7 of Cups. It's a 5 of Pentacles. It's not fun. It's not pleasant. Your body and your mind are going to say, no, I don't want to do this. We've decided beforehand. We've set the intention. We're fixed in our principles. We're fixed in our decision. And nothing's going to throw us off course, even when it gets hard, even when we start to really feel it, even when it seems to get worse before it gets better, even when we're confronted with the harsh realities of this new world, right? We're not going to quit because we've already decided beforehand that this is what we're doing. There's no turning back, okay? We are going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Libra, usually Wednesdays and Saturdays. I feel like you needed this message. Okay, so this is an extra reading on top of your usual two. Be sure to watch both of those as well. All right. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.